Hi friends, today we're going to talk about Saturn, the planet famous for its beautiful rings. Saturn is the sixth planet from the Sun and is really far away, about 886 million miles. It takes Saturn 29 Earth years to go all the way around the Sun. But a day on Saturn is super short, only about 10.7 hours. Saturn is huge, the second biggest planet after Jupiter. If you lined up Earths side by side, you could fit about 10 of them across Saturn's middle. But here's something surprising. Even though Saturn is so big, it's actually the lightest planet in terms of density. It's mostly made of hydrogen and helium. So light that it would float in water if we had a big enough ocean. Saturn doesn't have a solid surface like Earth. Instead, it's made of gas, so you couldn't stand or walk on it. But scientists think Saturn might have a solid core made of rocks, ice, and water. One of the coolest things about Saturn are its rings. They stretch out really far from the planet and are made of ice and rocks. Some pieces are tiny like sand, and others are as big as elephants. Saturn's rings look like 7 big ones from far away, and they're named A to G. Inside these big rings are lots of tiny rings called ringlets. Saturn has lots of moons, at least 53 that we know of, and maybe even more. Sometimes asteroids and meteorites crash into these moons and break them into pieces, which helps form Saturn's rings. The rings are really wide but not very tall. The main ones are only about 30 feet thick. The rings aren't just sitting still. They move around Saturn super fast. And each big ring is made of many smaller ones, which is really cool when you look closely. There's still a lot we don't know about Saturn, but it's definitely a unique and fascinating planet with its many moons, rings, and gassy makeup. Oh, and here's a fun fact. Saturn is named after the Roman god Saturn, and in Indian mythology, it is often called the god of justice. I hope you enjoyed learning about Saturn today.